Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for another video this week. This week I wanted to talk about something I saw a lot on TikTok, which was a journal ecosystem. I didn't know there was a name for it, but I have always had like various journals that had different purposes, and I'm pretty sure that's like a neurospicy thing, but it's cool that it has a name, I guess. I don't know. And I figured this would be a good opportunity to talk about, since we're getting close to the end of the year, perfect opportunity to share what I have, because I always take inspiration from other people, and maybe somebody's doing something that you're not doing, right? I'm definitely doing something that you are not doing. We're going to get into that towards the end of the video. But to start, the most basic, absolutely essential, just the regular daily use journal. I did the Artist's Way a couple years ago, and the one thing that I wish that I had kept up with, which I'm getting back into, is the morning pages. The Artist's Way suggests doing like 3 pages, just straight through stream of consciousness, like not judging at all anything, just writing. And I don't necessarily always adhere to the 3 pages. I'm not strict about 3 pages. I just do whatever, but there's no lines. The pages are kind of thin. And I just started this journal not too long ago. But one thing that I am doing with this journal that I haven't done with any others is a little table of contents sort of thing. Sometimes you're looking for something specific, which I'll say it now and we'll circle back to it at the end. But if you're an astrology girly, you know how sometimes if you're watching an astrologer's video, they'll mention like, oh, think about what you were doing back in May of this year. That's gone. That might as well have been like 5 years ago to me. I don't know. I don't remember. The journal will help with that, especially with the table of contents, because as someone who has multiple journals, like I have other ones, and like sometimes I won't know what the time, I just want to know what the time frame is and be able to quickly reference it. Is what I'm looking for going to be in this journal? Like, is this journal from this year? Is it from 2 years ago, 3 years ago? And that's what that's for. Next journal, I have sketchbook, and this is like my art journal. I just have like, somebody made me a card. Isn't that pretty? Somebody made that for me. Okay. But yeah, so I have different collages, some doodles. I wrote something and then collaged over it because that's how I do. But yeah, so I have that. I have a journal specifically for art purposes, which I need because I literally was just combining them all in one, which is what this one was. This was like all purpose. I had videos planned out, like yoga flows that I planned my last 2 video series in this notebook, but I also had a bunch of other stuff mixed in. And one of the things that was in here was my weekly tarot spread thing that I would do, which I don't know that I have. Oh, I do. So I would do a weekly tarot spread, and basically I would pull 3 cards, or if extra cards fell out, then whatever. But I would always try for 3 cards, and I would basically write like a little fortune cookie thing that associated that I associated with the meaning of the cards. Like, sometimes it would just be whatever random phrase popped into my head when I looked at the cards, because sometimes they have not a direct correlation. Sometimes it would be like song lyrics or like a quote from a movie or something, but I would always try to like summarize the vibe of the cards. And so I would do that. And as I got more into astrology and I started to really want to learn more about that, I started doing leaves, which is like the whole month where I would just write down the transits. And I had my birth chart, but I didn't fully understand like what the houses meant and all of the different planets and like the placements. I didn't fully understand the placements and stuff. And I especially didn't understand the impact of, when they would be like Mercury's moving into Scorpio and now it's retrograding and all this stuff. I didn't know what any of that really meant. And I didn't understand how it intersected or interacted with my personal chart. So that was a change that I decided to make, which is what this turned into, which was me taking the information from different astrologers that I've watched. I'll tag whoever I can remember in the description box, just people that I watched. And basically they give like a broad overview. Even if you watch for like your sun sign, that's still just your sun sign, and they don't have the specific information of your birth chart, which is, what planet, what placement you have in this house and all of this stuff. So it's going to be a little more specific and it gets a little more detailed, I guess. And so that is what this sort of turned into. I like having this kind of a thing, and so I started using more my laptop and typing it out into Google Docs, and that was fine. But I'm a journaler, I'm a writer. I like to physically write things down, and so for me, I wanted to get back to writing down what was going, like physically writing it down versus typing it out. It feels different. The information flows differently. I don't know how to explain it. If you write by hand, if you're a longhand journaler, then you understand. Because I spent the last year typing all of my journaling out on, again, Google Docs. And I don't mind that. It's nice because I can have it on my laptop and on my phone, if I'm going somewhere, or if for some reason I just have like free time to write, then I can do it on my phone and I don't have that physical thing. But I do miss the act of physically writing, which is why I got back into this guy. But I did want something a little more structured and a little more organized, because like this is all interspersed, and there's part in there. It's just interspersed with random things, and I don't love that. And I'm trying to be more organized, especially with me being more, trying to take my channel more seriously when it comes to like the planning aspect and all that. I don't want to lose things. I don't want things to get lost in the shuffle between this notebook, that notebook, this page, and then there's like random doodles in between, and then there's this and that. It's too confusing. So I want to add into my ecosystem something that I am very, very, very proud of, very excited about. I will put a little screen recording up of basically what it looks like. This is the grimoire. I'm just gonna real quick, just so you guys can see layouts, the colors. And there's the whole year. Little sets for the entire year here. And this is 108 pages. And yeah, just so you guys can see what colors. And then we have the bonus words here. Another 12, one for every month. You can also revisit the same spread for different months if you'd like. You can see there's the solar return spread, which obviously your birthday, you're only going to do that once. But some of these you could definitely come back to again and again. No relationship spread there. But yeah, so that's the full color version. But I created a planner, sort of. I don't know what you want to call it. I call it my glamour. If you're a witchy individual, you know about a grimoire, which is like book of spells sort of vibe, but this is a little bit different. So this combines my love of tarot and astrology, and it also gives me a way to organize all of my self-work and all of the information about transits and things like that. I pulled a couple pages out because as much as I love the way that this binder looks, because it looks so cute, like it is the exact size of this 108 page piece of work, which means there's no room to turn the pages. So when I work on these pages, I will have to take them out, but that is fine. If you decide to do this, I would suggest a 1-inch binder instead of a 1/2-inch binder. But anyway, each page has, so I have the month with all of the space for writing your transits, an affirmation for the month, because that's something else that I've started doing and I really like the energy of that, setting the tone for the entire month and just saying, you know, this is what I want to focus on, this is what I want to, this is the energy I'm grounding in. And very nice for me. It's made a big difference. And of course, I do a monthly tarot spread and then I do weekly tarot spreads. This is, you can see there's like little spaces and it's totally customizable. Whatever you want to put, wherever you want to put it, however you want to break down your month, whether that be finances and career, love and relationships. If you want to just, you know, let the universe tell you what your focus is going to be for the month, whatever. Same for the weekly. I always do, like I showed you in my other notebook, basically 3 cards and then a little fortune cookie to ground the energy, to explain the energy, to clarify that energy. But this gives me a place to organize it, and it also makes it really easy. Like I said, if you watch astrologers, they'll mention something that's happening currently and say this energy is tied into the energy back in May. If you are like me and you are of the neurospicy energy type, then you will understand that May of this year might as well have been 5 years ago. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. I don't know. And that's also why, again, with the table of contents, I can check the journal and say, was it this journal? Was it this journal? What are we talking about? And it makes it really easy because you have this specific date of whatever the transit is, and you can just check in with your journal, read what you were going through, and also, again, that personalization is really going to be key here, because then you know exactly, you know, what was being impacted at that time, so you can really tap into that energy, grounded in the bonus spreads. As you saw in the video, on the little screen grab, I had 12 bonus spreads that I am including as a bundle with this glamour. And for the first month only, it is going to be $24. And after that, the price will be going up. So if this is something that you're interested in and you want to join me on a little bit more of an organizational energy, then now is a good time to tap into this. Because at the last Thursday of every month, I will be sharing all of the transits that are coming up in the next month, and we can go through together, and I will give you the broad overview of this planet and this sign rules this house and it's this energy, and give you the broad strokes of it, and then you can take it, refine it, clarify it however you feel like you need to, like I did here, which is, where, like I said, Mercury is moving into Scorpio, and I said which houses that was going to impact, which that's something that, again, that's going to vary person to person. It's going to depend on your personal chart, and that's where you can get into learning a little bit more about yourself. You can learn more about just astrology in general if that's something that you want to get into. This is going to be an opportunity to do that. Hopefully you will join me on this journey. Hopefully you enjoyed the tour of my journal ecosystem that I have set up. And I didn't even talk about this thing, which it's a journal but not a journal. I'm just going to give you guys a little sneak peek here. I have these little, you can see they're like little flags. I kind of cut some out here, you can tell. I've been using this. But this is part of my gratitude practice. That's another one that I am going to be talking about probably in January. You see that? You see it. You see the... Anyway, that's my other thing that I'm adding to my ecosystem. I'm going to talk about that in January. That was just a little... There's more. I have my new replacement for the What I Dreamt series, which that video is going to be the last Thursday of every month. We are going to be talking about the transits and help in setting up our month in advance to get an idea of what that energy is going to look like. We're going to be setting affirmations for that, and we might even pull some tarot if you want. I probably will, because I love pulling tarot. I love pulling cards. It's like my favorite thing. Also, I will have a link in the description box to purchase the PDF of the Glamour, and this is going to be for the bundle, which is for this month only, $24. And after that, the price will be going up. And I will also be selling the spreads, the bonus spreads. If you just want to upgrade your personal tarot practice and you're looking for some different ideas for spreads, then you'll be able to pick that up. That's going to come later. But for now, I would just like to say thank you so much for sitting with me. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you are being kind to yourselves and to one another.